Communication is the basis of our lives, and we would, in this day and age, be handicapped without it. Every day, we're communicating with each other in some way or another, be it by using words, actions, or even expressions in conveying a message. Every day, we're constantly humming with communication, whether we realize it or not. All aspects of nature, be it humans, animals, plants, and even the weather, are all communicating in a way that is understood and interpreted through observation. The importance of this vital means of being in touch is crucial for us to survive every day. It is the root of all events, daily interaction, social affairs, and anything that requires a purpose of human dealings. We have technology to enhance the idea of communication by making it simpler, faster, effective, and convenient no matter where you are on the globe. Its humble beginnings, from written letters sent out by men on horseback, has evolved greatly to building virtual bridges between nations.
The evolution of communication can be greatly credited to two powerful tools that played a great role in unifying the world: the globalization and technology. Let's take a look how these two were able to create a difference that greatly matters in our society today.
Globalization is the process of integrating people from varied countries, nations, cultures, and governments into one global melting pot. The process is driven by the economics of free market capitalism, international trade, and investment. It represents a merger of the developed world with the developing world, thus creating new and dynamic mutually beneficial business models and cultural exchanges, experiences, and considerations. Globalization has been around for hundreds of years as nations sought to trade with other nations located great distances away. It was slow and took months for the simplest transaction, but it existed. Now, due to the internet and other communication technology, we have entered a new era of globalization in which interactivity, communication, collaboration, and the transfer of products and services take place instantly. This 21st century version of globalization will transform the economic, cultural, and political climate of all participating nations for years to come.
With the internet, telecommunication, broadband, cell phone technology, handheld wireless mobile devices, and other communication technology, geographically dispersed workers can now interact and collaborate as though they all were located together in a downtown highway. In fact, communication technology has advanced to the point where instant communication across the globe can be so ubiquitous that no one really thinks about it anymore. As technology advances, the world is both getting larger and smaller. Today, we are able to communicate with people across the globe at the touch of a button. While globalization, or communication between nations beyond their borders, is an old concept, with the onset of new technology, globalization is impacting the ways we communicate and learn in fascinating ways. We are expanding our understanding of fellowship, and as we become more connected, we are deepening our educational experiences. The rise in the use of the internet, in particular, has been incredibly instrumental in improving the ways in which we connect with one another.
We already know how communication, globalization, and technology plays a big role in the society today, and how they can really be powerful when we become unified. Now, let's dive deeper in how globalization and technology positively impact communication.
First is the introduction of virtual communication. Globalization has introduced virtual communication and collaboration as a major part of workplace dynamics. Modern entrepreneurs need to understand the strength and limitation of different communication medium and how to use each medium to maximum effect.
For example, communicating via email to distant team members requires a certain etiquette and nuance not necessarily required in face-to-face interactions. Holding virtual meetings requires a similar change in approach, and people who are unaccustomed to communicating in groups in virtual settings can find themselves lost, confused, or unable to share their input. Virtual interaction can also address the varying time zone of the communicators.
Next is increased business opportunities. Many companies today hire employees that are located in other countries. Using communication vehicles such as video calling make it simple to converse with colleagues across the globe, almost making it feel as if they are in the same room. Technology also makes it easier to connect with suppliers and customers all over the world, and to streamline those relationships through improved ordering, shipment tracking, and so on. With this kind of communication technology, many businesses are able to take advantage of opportunities in different countries or cities, improving the economic outlook on a global level. Thanks to global communications, information itself can be transferred as a valuable business asset from one country to another. This has the effect of making everyone's operations more modern and efficient, regardless where they are located.
Globalization and technology also help to lessen cultural barriers. Many people perceive culture to be the root of communication challenges. When people from two different cultures try to exchange information, the way they speak, their body language, or their mannerisms can be interpreted differently by the other person. The way people approach problems and how they participate in communities is all influenced by culture.
It also paved way for the creation of a global village. You've likely heard of the phrase global village coined by theorist Marshall McLuhan. Affected both by globalization and technology, the global village is created when distance and isolation no longer matter because people are connected by technology.
Widespread telephone and internet access have been life-changing for many people across the world, especially those in developing countries. Many are now enrolling in universities across the world without having to leave their desk chair. Virtual assistant jobs are becoming commonplace, where employees from developing countries work with companies in North America or Europe, providing administrative support and other business services that can easily be conducted over the phone or via the internet.
Technology also increased number of methods to contact. Technology is like a garden in which there are many trees providing different variety of fruits and varied colors. So the internet is like a garden, and social media, emails, videos, blogs, forums, and mobile phones and the trees. Each tree contains its own nature, environment, and fruits.
Whereas an email tree is mostly used for business purposes, a social media tree is for personal communication, videos tree for learning and listening, blog, ebooks, books tree is for communication with writers' thoughts, point of view on personal and professional topic, etc. Communication is not only what two people or thousands of people talk about, it is also about brain to brain communication through blog, message, etc. It is also about heart to heart communication.
This positive impact also includes bigger audience to influence. Nelson Mandela always said, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. It's true, and the world is changing by education. Some educate you with lessons in life, but it can also be used by the professionals to educate those who are hungry for knowledge. So, the most sharp and clever brains are taking the advantages of this technology to communicate with people. And many times you see, they are communicating in order to influence people.
Technology has revolutionized the way people communicate, linking humans in a real-time network across the globe. However, technology has also changed communication in many ways, and some of them are not for the better. While some of these negative effects are relatively minor, in some cases, they have had profound effects on the lives and well-being of users.
Technology and globalization can also be omnipresent distraction. Cell phones and mobile devices allow users to stay connected even when away from their computers. While this can be a great benefit, especially in emergencies, it can also be dangerous distraction.
Hundreds of thousands of people suffer injuries every year in accidents involving a distracted driver, and texting and cell phone use are primary sources of distraction behind the wheel. While it may only take a driver a few seconds to read a message, during that time his vehicle could travel the length of a football field without his eyes on the road. Technology can also be a distraction at home or in the office, as always present instant messaging applications and social networks can draw a user's attention away from more important matter. It also contributes to dehumanization and depersonalization. Technology can also affect the quality of communication. One of the great benefits of the internet is its anonymity, allowing users to explore and communicate without having to give away their personal details. Unfortunately, this can also lead to users behaving in ways completely different than they would in a face to face conversation.
When the internet reduces a person to a faceless screen name, it can make it hard for some users to remember an actual person exists behind that avatar, which can encourage hostility and exclusionary behavior. Young people are especially prone to online hostility, with 43% of kids reporting that they've suffered online bullying, 25% of them on more than one occasion.
The negative impact of globalization and technology on communication also includes social isolation. Technology can create elaborate social networks online, but these can unexpectedly lead to social isolation. In some cases, communicating online replaces face-to-face interaction for users, reducing the amount of time they actually spend in the company of other human beings.
In addition, these social networks sometimes replace a small number of strong social connections with a larger number of much shallower connections, leading to situations where a user may have large numbers of friends but few actual real-world companions. This can lead to depression and feelings of loneliness, and the lack of a support system can make it difficult for users to reach out and find help for these issues. According to Slate, polling suggests the number of adults who describe themselves as lonely has doubled since 1980, and that spending more time online with social networks can actually have an adverse effect on a user's happiness level.
Another potential hazard of communicating via technology is a lack of privacy. Communications sent over the internet may be insecure, allowing third parties to read email conversations or intercept instant messages. If an outsider manages to compromise an email account or application, he may gain access to months or even years of correspondence. Encryption can help keep communication safe from prying eyes, but protecting every link in the social communication chain can be difficult. Malware authors are even beginning to target phones and mobile devices, recognizing them as always available windows into their owners' personal lives.
Because of technologies like the internet, we have the opportunity to view diverse perspectives that were outside of our scope before. We are able to fully connect with someone who is thousands of miles away in real time, and the effects are profound. Information isn't as restricted, and it allows us the opportunity not only to receive information, but to enter into academic spaces and contribute. Globalization creates a space for ideas to transcend borders and social strata. When you combine the access to new perspective with access to previously highly safeguarded materials, what you get is the opportunity to create brand new worlds. When you can see the world through new eyes, you have the opportunity to innovate and really develop new educational opportunities. We think how and why we communicate and create new systems to do both. We are able to create a more equitable world when we are able to come to the proverbial table and share ideas.
Intertwining innovations with responsible use, we can create a better world.